Modals of Possibility. Listen to the sentences. How certain is the speaker about something happening in the future?
Robots will replace many workers in the next 10 years. Some restaurant cooks may be replaced by machines one day.
We use modals of possibility, such as will and may, to talk about possibilities in the future and to make predictions. For example, we use will to show we are absolutely certain, or 100% sure, that something will happen in the future. But we use may to say we are only somewhat certain, or only about 50% sure. Listen to the sentence with the modal couldn't. How certain is the speaker?
It couldn't be true that robots will take over the job of police officers.
If you said absolutely certain, you are correct. We use the modals couldn't, can't, and won't to say we are absolutely certain that something will occur in the future. Couldn't and can't mean, I don't believe this to be true. They show disbelief. Won't or will not means, I believe this to be a fact. I am 100% sure. Listen to the sentence with the modal should. How certain is the speaker?
Jobs in construction should become safer as technology continues to develop.
We use the modal should to say we are very certain, or about 90% sure, that something will happen or be true in the future. Note that the modal ought to has the same meaning as should. To form the negative of should and ought to, we use should not, or the contracted form, shouldn't. We do not use ought to in the negative.
It shouldn't be long before robots begin delivering packages to people's homes.
Listen to the sentence with the modal might. How certain is the speaker?
Airline passengers might fly in pilotless planes within the next 10 years.
If you said not certain or uncertain, you are correct. We use might to say we are less certain something will happen or be true. By less certain, we mean less than 50% sure. Note how using could in the affirmative means the same as might. Could also means we are less than 50% certain. In the negative form, however, might not and could not do not mean the same thing. Listen to the example with might not.
Many people might not feel safe owning a driverless car.
This speaker thinks there is some possibility people won't feel safe. Remember, if you use couldn't, it means you are much more certain. Could not means I do not believe something to be true. It has a different meaning in the negative form. Let's review the modals of possibility. Remember that all of these modals are used to tell others how sure we are about something happening in the future. When we are absolutely certain, meaning 100% certain, we use will in the affirmative. In the negative, we use won't, can't, or couldn't. If we are very certain something will happen or be true, meaning about 90% certain, we use should or ought to in the affirmative, and only shouldn't or should not in the negative. When we are somewhat certain, meaning 50% certain, we use may in the affirmative, and in the negative, we use may not. Finally, when we are less than 50% certain about something, we use the modals could and might in the affirmative, but only might not in the negative.